February of 2010, the Guinness World Record for the world's largest bowl of salsa was set in Miami. The current record weighs in at an astounding 1,170 pounds. So here's my challenge. I've got just 5 days to rally the entire town of Jacksonville, Texas, amass an army of volunteers, and source enough ingredients to make the world's biggest, tastiest bowl of salsa ever, right here at the Jacksonville Tomato Festival. My goal? To make 1 ton. That's 2,000 pounds, almost 1,000 kilograms of salsa. That's right, y'all. Everything's bigger in Texas. Every year, 10,000 tomato fans fill the streets of Jacksonville for some fun in the sun, celebrating their most cherished crop. While most eyes look forward to the festivities, one set is fixed on me.
I am Constable Eddie Lee. I've been appointed by the Guinness World Records to be sure Bob follows all the rules. Rule number 1, the ingredients must contain tomatoes, onions, and chili. If you forget the basics, you are out. Rule number 2, the salsa must be edible. Number 3, all cooking must be done according to the local health regulations. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
If you cheat on any of these rules, I will disqualify you.
I wouldn't think about cheating, sir.
I'll be keeping an eye on you.
I think he means it.
You bet I mean it. I heard you.
If I'm gonna pull off this job, I'm gonna need some serious backup. Kathleen Stanfield, caterer, and the woman who's gonna teach me everything I need to know about making mounds of salsa. As a caterer, Kathleen is used to planning and cooking up huge amounts of food.
And you think you can make 2,000 pounds of salsa in 1 day?
Well, I haven't exactly done all the math. I figured I'd do the math when I got here.
We're gonna need a calculator and a stopwatch. Okay, you wanna make 2,000 pounds. I wanna see you make 5. I got a timer too. We're gonna have to do some math after you're finished.
And I got some knives. So, you ready?
Go! Okay, Bob, that's 49 seconds.
49 seconds already? Oh, that's 1 pound.
2 minutes.
You might need a bigger bowl.
Think about the size of the bowl you're gonna need for 2,000 pounds.
Yeah, I can't even imagine.
3 minutes, 15 seconds. You're sitting at 3 pounds, big boy. 6 minutes, 45 seconds.
4 pounds.
Here, come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. You are making a mess in my kitchen, boy.
There we go, stop the clock.
You just made 5 pounds of salsa in 7.5 minutes.
Right.
Let's do some math. 2,000 pounds divided by 5, it's 400 of those.
400 bowls of this?
400.
Hang on, so that's 50 hours.
50 hours.
Man, this isn't gonna be easy, is it?
No, I told you it wasn't gonna be easy. I told them when they told me you were coming. I was like, is he crazy? But yeah, you are.
If I want to break this Guinness World Record, well, just for starters, I'm gonna have to develop the trust of the locals because I'm gonna need to recruit an army of volunteers. Secondly, I'm gonna have to execute this entire operation with military precision and exacting health standards. And lastly, I've got to develop a salsa recipe that tickles the local taste buds because I don't want one single drop of my record-setting efforts going to waste. Y'all better wish me luck.
The current Guinness World Record is 1,170 pounds of salsa, but my goal is to make 2,000 pounds. To figure out how to cut it, Kathleen and I sit down to come up with a plan.
Organization, as you know, as a caterer, is the key to success, right?
Well, I'm not a caterer, you are, but...
Well, but you've done jobs that required you to think ahead and prepare ahead.
So what are the broad strokes that I have to be thinking about?
We need people. Put people.
Okay.
We need people. Minimum of 20. Because think about it. 20 people chopping. You also need people washing vegetables and things. You need people walking back and forth.
We need a scale, right?
Well, you can write equipment because we're going to need a lot of big stuff. We're going to need some sort of refrigeration to store things in. And because you can't just keep throwing it in some kind of feed trough all day in the heat.
Where the hell are we going to find a bowl big enough for the whole salsa?
A food-safe bowl big enough for the whole salsa.
I won't need a big bowl if I can't find some tomatoes to put in it. David Claiborne grows 5 varieties on over 50 acres. Can I get 1,800 pounds?
1,800 pounds. I'd really like to help you out, but in an order that size, you're probably going to have to harvest those yourself.
Do I get a discount at least?
A discount. I'll tell you what, I'll give you 20% off.
All right, it's a deal. It's a good thing I have 4 more days, because picking that many tomatoes is going to take a lot of time. Come on, Daddy. I've got a ton of prep ahead of me. That is, if I don't get washed out first.
Can't believe that nature's gonna get in my way. I'm in Jacksonville, Texas, where I'm attempting to break the Guinness World Record for the largest bowl of salsa.
And just remember, Bob, everything's bigger in Texas.
My second day in Jacksonville begins in a warehouse. I want something round and holds about 300 gallons.
And
is food safe. They stock containers for everything from feed to water. It's the perfect place to find a giant salsa bowl. Wow, it's absolutely perfect. How many gallons is that?
550 gallons, and it's food safe.
You the man!
food safe, yes.
All right, well, let's get this baby out of here. I have a bowl big enough. Now I just have to figure out how to fill it. Hey, Kathleen sent me to meet this gentleman, Rob Goen. Rob's a local chef and a restaurateur, and he's gonna help me develop the flavor profile for my salsa. So, Rob, what is Super Gallo?
Super Gallo is the hot spot for hot salsa.
Not only does Super Gallo stock everything you need for authentic Mexican cooking, but its in-house kitchen is famous for its salsa.
This is Nick Maestas.
Hey, Nick.
Ruby Del Rio.
Yeah.
These two are responsible for some of the best salsa in Jacksonville.
Nice. So what are you gonna make for me here?
I'm gonna make you a salsa called red salsa. First, we'll add some fire-grilled tomatoes.
Okay, so those are going in skin and everything.
With charred skin, you get a flavor out of it.
Sure. Nick adds roasted jalapeno peppers, coriander, oregano, garlic, salt, sugar, cardamom, and balsamic vinegar. It's funny, you don't typically think of balsamic working with Mexican salsa.
To me, it enhances the flavor of your salsa.
He finishes the salsa with some chopped cilantro and onion. Man, I'm dying to taste this. That's really nice. I get a lot of sweetness, but then the heat does come through. Nick Salsa gave me some great insight into the flavors the locals love. Rob and I stock up with options to test out in the kitchen. What about a little fresh mint? It would just sort of add a brightness.
You maybe run out of East Texas if you start putting mint in your salsa.
Mint might be unconventional, but I'm determined to make my salsa memorable. So we head to Rob's kitchen to test out some recipes. We start by making a basic salsa with tomatoes, jalapeno, onions, cilantro, and olive oil. But then I thought we'd try all of these different ingredients and see which of them can really add some depth of flavor. In the first bowl, we add roasted poblano peppers and roasted onion. Definitely gives it some depth.
It's just a little bit of body.
And there's a little extra heat. In the next bowl, we add a pinch of sugar to balance the heat of the chilies and a dash of balsamic vinegar. It's nice.
That balsamic brings out the sweetness of those tomatoes.
Finally, we try adding fresh mint to the basic salsa.
Now for something I would have never have tried, I'll probably love it. Wow.
So bright and fresh, I have an idea. To the basic salsa, I add balsamic vinegar, sugar, mint, and grilled onion.
Wow.
Wow. It's clean, it's fresh, and it really, really shows off those tomatoes. Ding, ding, ding.
We got it.
We got a winner. My salsa recipe may taste great, but the only way I'm gonna make a ton of it in an afternoon is with a lot of help. Could I put this sign in your window? I post to the town. I'm hoping I can rely on the community spirit to help draft myself enough volunteers. Already, one talented set of hands has stepped forward to add a bit of color to my Guinness World Record attempt. I want to introduce you to Judy Siemens. Judy's a local artist. She's going to help me turn that industrial-sized vat into a beautiful-looking salsa bowl.
You can draw.
Wow, I mean, I
You could?
draw like... Clearly, she didn't get the press release. You know, I was thinking more that kind of like... kind of an Aztec-y kind of thing.
You might want to go more of a Mexican style. They do a lot of squash blossom look.
That would be really fun. It would feel very festive. All right, let's get these pallets off. Uh-oh, here comes the rain.
No one's going to know this was ever an industrial tub.
It's going to be fantastic. I mean, the people of Jacksonville are never going to have seen a salsa bowl like this before. And if this rain keeps up, they never will. If this happens on Saturday, my whole Guinness World Record attempt could get washed right down the storm drains. My chances are about to get washed out in more ways than one. Houston, we got a big problem. The folks in Jacksonville, Texas sure love their tomatoes. And that makes this the perfect place to attempt a Guinness World Record-breaking bowl of salsa.
I'll be keeping an eye on you.
I've developed a salsa recipe I'm proud of. Now I just need a team to help me make it.
Hey, y'all.
Lucky for me, 20 people responded to my flyers. My hope for this is that when I leave town, I'll be able to see a sign that says Jacksonville, home of the Guinness World Record largest bowl of salsa. Yeah! All right? All right, let me draw you a little schematic. So I've broken the group down into squads, and each squad is responsible for a single task. We're going to bring out some ingredients, and I would like you to help me do a little test. I want to see how long it takes to chop a box of tomatoes, a box of onions, and all the other ingredients. And based on this time, we can figure out how long it'll take to reach our goal of 2,000 pounds of salsa.
Onions are done. Tomatoes are done.
Tomatoes and onions done at the same time. That is good news. While I run the group through their paces, across town, Kathleen oversees the arrival of the refrigeration truck filled with the rest of the ingredients. Limes are done. Nice. Pepper's done. Okay. It's like we had 2 waves. We had the tomatoes and the onions done in 5 minutes, and then everything else was done at the 10-minute mark. I combine everything into one bucket, then weigh the results. 16 1/2 pounds in 10 minutes. So that means we would have done 96 pounds per hour. Wow. That would be 21 hours.
We're not sleeping tonight.
And we're only gonna have 5.5 hours.
We gotta find some faster choppers, and B, we gotta find a lot more of them.
I leave Kathleen with the group. I need to get the message out fast.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to Bob Bloomer.
I got a big problem. I need about 20 volunteers, people who are kind of confident in their slicing and dicing skills.
And so I need the community to help me out to make sure that I don't fall short.
Because not only are they helping me make this salsa, but I'm leaving on Sunday morning. And when I leave the Guinness World Record behind. I can only hope the people of Jacksonville respond. Because if they don't, the past 5 days' efforts have been for nothing. It's a little after 7 a.m. when I arrive at the tomato bowl.
You guys are certainly with us today. Nice dry day. Of course, dry around here means it'll be about 95 degrees.
Morning, Pumpkin.
What's up, Bloomer?
How you doing?
I'm good.
Y'all ready? It's gonna be a busy day. We've only got 5.5 hours to smash the Guinness World Record by making 1 ton of salsa. As the volunteers arrive, I put them to work, unloading the ingredients into the kitchen and setting up the work area.
These folks responded to your radio call, Bob.
Thank you so much for coming down. 2 extra sets of hands will be a great help, but we need a lot more than that to break the record. 44. We have 44 people. The number of volunteers doubled overnight. It looks like my radio message worked. Do I have your commitment to tough it out? We only have until 3:30 to break the record. And with this many people, we might just have a shot at it.
Now we got trouble.
Morning, Constable Lee. How are you?
Just be sure you follow the rules.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
I hand out gloves and hairnets as they assign everyone a task. Most are chopping, but I've set aside a few people to clean vegetables and move things around. Now, our nemesis for the day is the health inspector.
If I do find any of the people aren't following food safety rules, then I'm gonna have to shut you down. Your dreams are gonna be crushed.
Strike up the band. Come on, Jacksonville! It's time to rally the troops and see if I can bring it all together. I'm in Jacksonville, Texas, attempting to break the Guinness World Record for the largest bowl of salsa ever made.
Do you know how much it is?
It's gonna be big. I've got a mass of volunteers and a whole lot of tomatoes. Now it's time to get chopping. Come on, Jacksonville! I can't hear you guys! All right, Jacksonville, are you ready to make a Guinness World Record-breaking bowl of salsa? Let the games begin! The current Guinness World Record for the largest bowl of salsa stands at 1,170 pounds, and we are determined to beat it.
A proclamation was made from the city and our mayor that we are now Salsaville.
Spirits are high, but so is the challenge ahead. We've got only 5.5 hours to turn 93 boxes of tomatoes, 13 boxes of peppers, 300 pounds of onions, 10 crates of limes, 425 bunches of mint and cilantro, and 115 heads of garlic into 1 record-breaking ton of salsa.
If you don't have 7 filled tubs in that truck in 50 minutes, you'll never make it.
Everyone's doing the best they can. But to put it politely, not everyone's knife skills are as honed as the chef's.
You got 36 minutes to get me 7 buckets, and I got nothing. Nothing. From where I'm sitting, he's screwed.
Team Jacksonville, the good news is we are on our way to a world record. The bad news is, at this pace, it'll be sometime around tomorrow afternoon that we actually set it. I've got to increase my team's efficiency, so I grab a knife and jump in. I move around, giving tips to the volunteers. You take the bunch, you fold that bunch over. Look at that. Look how nice and fine that is. My team learns fast, and it doesn't take long to start seeing some results.
We've now got 3 buckets of tomatoes on the truck. Yeah!
As the choppers pick up the pace, the pressure on me to manage every aspect grows.
This is organized chaos without so much organization.
Never would have occurred to me how much detail there really is here.
And the flaws in my plan begin to show through.
Okay, are you waiting for ingredients? Is that what you're waiting for? Does anybody else not have ingredients?
I've got enough choppers, but not enough people washing and preparing the ingredients.
This is a very rude and quick reminder of the fact that organization is not my strong suit.
So I hit up the crowd and recruit some fresh troops.
Hey, any of you guys standing around here want to jump in? Anybody interested?
Okay, we can do that.
All right, come on in. Let this town know who's the boss. The mayor's got it going on.
The new recruits help smooth out the supply chain, but my next miscalculation won't be so easy to fix.
We've already used up over 2/3 of our plastic pails.
And we're not even halfway through our ingredients. It's time to improvise.
That I'm stealing. This I'm stealing. As the volunteers drink the water, I'm stealing the water coolers. We're sanitizing them. We're gonna start moving everything that's not tomatoes so that we can free up the pails.
Staying on top of every crisis has caused me to neglect one very important thing: the people.
Things are just slowing down to a halt. All right, everybody, who's ready for a little 2-minute pecan pie break? Share them with one of your neighbors.
Are you off to eat? Put new ones on when you're done.
Take your gloves off to eat and put new ones on when you're done. And eat fast.
The snacks work their magic and morale gets a boost, but no good deed goes unpunished.
1 rubber glove. Who's got extra rubber gloves? I don't want this whole thing to grind to a halt because we don't have gloves. So can you go right now?
We're running out of time.
Well, it's been 2.5 hours to do this many pails of tomatoes. I've got to do all the rest in that same period of time.
It's time for desperate measures.
Calling Chef Rob. Hey, Rob, it's Bloomer again. You know those fantastic prep cooks you had? What are they doing right now?
I can't wait for backup, so I grab a knife.
All right, who's got some room here at the onion table? I'm gonna help you out.
All right, guys, let's make some salsa!
As the team ramps up, Rob's ringers arrive and get to work.
Moment, sir.
I'm seeing another full bucket of tomatoes! Yeah. Put your hands together for the jalapeno team. They're on their 2nd pail!
Finally, we seem to have found our groove.
Bud, this is the last onion.
All right, let's hear it for Team Onion!
As the teams finish their vegetables, they're put to work chopping tomatoes.
Team Garlic is Spanish for garlic. Guess where you're going now? Team Tomato.
All hands are now desperately chopping tomatoes. It's a race against the clock.
We started the morning with 93 cases of tomatoes. You're looking at the last one.
It's only a matter of minutes until the last tomato is diced. It's time to mix everything together and see if all of our efforts add up to a Guinness World Record-breaking bowl of salsa.
Y'all ready for the world to know where the tomato capital of Texas is? Bring on the tomatoes!
We're not just emptying pails, we're making salsa. We mix the tomatoes, grilled onions, roasted peppers, fresh mint, cilantro, lime juice, olive oil, salt, pepper, sugar, and the balsamic vinegar into the giant bowl.
One of you, please find me a mirror so I can show you all what's going on here.
Every bucket pushes the weight closer to the current record of 1,170 pounds.
That's over the record! Jacksonville, you are the Guinness World Record holding salsa champions of the world! But are we gonna stop here, Jacksonville?
We're not gonna stop until we've added every pound we chop.
All right, Jacksonville, I need your help. Do you think we should get to 1 ton with an extra gallon of balsamic vinegar? No! Do you think we should get to 1 ton with a pail of Jacksonville tomatoes?
We did it! 1 ton of salsa. But wait, there's more!
2672!
2,672 pounds of salsa. We didn't just beat the Guinness World Record, we destroyed it. The only thing left to do is serve up our record-breaking recipe.
Fantastic.
Perfect amount of lime.
It looks like my salsa has them lining up for more.
That salsa kicks tail.
Well, it's official. People in Jacksonville love their salsa.
Salsa!